The Masquerade Game. If you ever find yourself with more time on your hands than you know what to do with, there are various games you can play. But I dare say the Masquerade Game is by far the most fun. It's relatively easy to play, which only requires the following. You have to find a suitable location that could house a masquerade ball. Make sure it's indoors. And a 1700 style suit or dress, depending if you're a guy or girl, and a mask. But make sure it covers your whole face. Now, I'll tell you why here in a moment. Once you have all these things, stand at the top of the largest staircase in the building, back turned to the room it leads to, and say these words exactly, and say them like you mean it. The masquerade is nearly ready, but there is one problem. Someone here does not belong. Oh, what a wonderful game for the masquerade ball. One of three things will happen. If you feel a hand on your shoulder, pushing you in the direction of the door, leave. The hand you feel is that of a spectral butler who has seen through your disguise and is escorting you from the premises. Should you fight it? Well, let's just say I haven't heard of anyone fighting it. If this is what you get, do not, under any circumstances, ever re-enter that building for any reason. The spirits you summoned will be angry that someone called them from their rest, and they will take it out on you. Number 2. If you hear laughter, and it actually sounds joyful, join in until the laughter stops. You have amused the spirits with your offer, and they are not offended for being awoken from their slumber. Join in the laughter so as to make it sound as if it was nothing more than a ruse. For if you don't join in, they will know you weren't joking, and the results aren't pretty. On the other hand, if the laughing is more maniacal, they are about to kill you. Whatever they do to you, don't cry or scream. They'll grow bored faster that way and end it sooner. It's the best advice I can give you. Number 3. Should you feel an arm lock with yours in an escort or escorted fashion, you're on your way to playing the game. The man or woman who is now standing beside you will ask you if you're ready to dance. This is your last chance to back out before the game has truly started. If you feel like you can't do it, tell him or her politely that you have forgotten something and need to go get it. Do not, I repeat, do not tell him or her you will be right back. Otherwise, when the game ends with you not there, that spirit will terrorize you for the rest of your life for standing it up. If you feel like you can do this, and feel confident in your ability to play the game, look over at him or her and casually say, "You're ready." Word of caution though, his or her mask will be terrifying to look at. It will be a grotesque feature, but believe me when I say it's nothing compared to what's underneath it. Also, be aware that everyone who is at the ball will also be wearing masks. They are all terrifying. And again, it is nothing compared to what they hide. Do not scream, do not jump, do not flinch, run, or even shudder at the sight of them, ever. If you do, refer back to outcome number 2. He or she will immediately ask you why your mask looks different from the others. Do not answer. In fact, here's a tip. Never acknowledge any questions about your mask, no matter how persistent or angry they ask it. After all this, the real game begins. Slowly walk down to the dance floor and do your best to fit in. talk with them, dance with them, have a good time. But be aware the whole time you're playing. They will offer food and drink. Politely decline all of them. Watch all of the other partygoers as well, because they will also decline. The food and drink is part of the game. They will try to lure the living person out with them, as the dead don't need or desire either. While you mingle with the other partygoers, some may ask you to remove your mask for one reason or another. Don't even say no to them. Again, don't even acknowledge anything about it. Some of the partygoers may even try grabbing it and taking it off, push their hands away, and insist they not touch your face. The more insistent they become to removing your mask with their own hands, the more you should sound more and more insulted. If even should one actually touch your mask, remove a glove if you have one. If not, it's okay, and smack said person across the face with it. If you have no gloves, smacking them will do just fine. You have challenged them to a duel. The one you have challenged will attempt to have it be to the death, which is another ruse. These are spirits, and they can't die. When the spirit says to the death, merely laugh at it like it's some kind of joke. They will most likely try to revise it to first blood. This is the last ruse it will try to play on you in this part. Scoff as if you have just been insulted, because spirits do not bleed. And the last thing you want them to know is you are not one of them. Then, with all the audacity you can muster, declare it to be to the first point, meaning all you have to do is tap them on the shoulder to win, and vice versa. You will be given dulled rapiers and told the stakes. They usually vary. Sometimes it's just a pride duel, others it's eviction from the premises, or the following of a single command from the winner. Fight your best, and whatever you do, do not lose. If you lose, the command will usually be demanded for you to remove your mask. And since the duel is binding, you will find yourself unable to deny it. If that should happen, refer back to outcome number 2. If you win the duel, you have 2 options. Demand he or she removes their mask and admit to being the one that does not belong. He or she will have to comply, and in so doing, they will be escorted from the ball, meaning the rest of the evening is free for you to mingle, and no one will question you or try to remove your mask anymore. The evening is free for you to have fun because you have just won the game by making somebody else admit. The second thing you can do is let the spirit go on a warning. In doing so, the game will last the rest of the evening and until dawn. The rules are still the same. You must still be careful, as others may try less obvious ways to out you so as to not be challenged by you. Although, once midnight hits, if either the lord or lady of the ball should address you and ask for a dance, respectfully decline. The lady and lord have been dead a long enough time to know who's alive and who's not, and they know every dance there is to know and can transition from one to the other flawlessly without stop. To dance with them is near suicide, as they expect all to be able to keep up with them, as spirits do not tire. And falter just a little will result in being eviscerated almost immediately by the one whom you are dancing with. After they would kill you, your soul would remain trapped as another servant, forever trying to out any potential living people. Although, should you feel yourself capable enough and manage to dance with them throughout the rest of the game, just before the sun rises, the lady or lord will extend their invitations to you for another night. You may now play this game freely, without worry of being outed or needing a mask, as you have earned the respect of all the spirits there. Yet, as the sun is rising, take your leave and depart from there before the sun completely rises. They will try to stop you. Heed this warning. If none of the other warnings, heed this one. Do not stay there any longer than when the sun begins to rise, because if you stay there till the sun is completely up, you will be trapped there. Just another dancer with a grotesque mask and rotten face. You see, this game is very simple, and it is very fun. But even so, it is very dangerous. And I recommend don't play it alone.